And how are we today, people? Hope you're well. I'm doing well. Ish. A little bit odd today. Couldn't really figure out what I wanted to play today. If you're watching this on a replay, you may not be aware of this, but Sundays is our Minecraft day. Minecraft Sundays, we call it. Sad day today. But because I missed out on last week's Minecraft Sunday, I thought we'd play at least a little bit of Minecraft today. At least a couple of hours, I think. We may go and do 4 to 6 hours. Or I may decide to switch over to a little bit of BFA or a little bit of Dauntless or something. Play it as it comes today. Might be a variety day. Might be just Minecraft. Don't know yet. MBite69. Hi, Blunt. Love your videos. And the recent WoW ones. Did you have a chance to drop by the streams over the last couple of days when we're doing the classic stress test stuff? I'll probably put those up as replays. I think I wasn't using any background music, was I? We just had the in-game music, so there won't be any copyright stuff. So yeah, probably put those up as replays, I think, on the secondary channel. Might be worth preserving for future reference and for the curious. Because the classic beta, or the classic stress test, did take place on workdays in some areas for some people. So they might not have been able to see much of it. Using a DSLR on stream? No! I'm using a mirrorless camera. This is the Lumix G7 that you can't look at me from. It is through a DSLR's lens. I've got an adapter, got a Canon lens on there. Just because it's a good lens for doing this. Gives me the right field of view that I want. Lets me smudge out the background. All nice and soft. Gives a nice quality to skin tones. But my skin's not looking that good. It's been a slow morning. I'm like 5 minutes out of the shower, basically, so I'm still a bit blotchy and red. I have hot showers. I like hot showers, especially in winter. No, I'm not on the keto diet anymore. I'm still watching my food, although, that said, last night I had an enormous plate of nachos. I have some regrets about that. But I'm still watching my carb intake, just to try and maintain the weight that I managed to lose. I'm sure I'll put a bit back on, because you normally do when you come off keto, as your body readjusts and you start retaining a bit more water and things like that, but I'm okay with putting a bit more on. I was never after skinny. I just wanted to be a lot skinnier than I was, because I had chunked up quite significantly, and I didn't like that, and my back was paying the price for my gluttony. But no, I'm not officially on the keto diet anymore. I'm allowing myself carbs, which has been fantastic. Burgers, chips, I can have oatmeal again, rice, I can have fruit, I can have mango juice. Oh, I missed mango juice. You're missing your loved ones. Oh well. Did you get a chance to play yourself? And you confused me saying it's Sunday or Saturday for me. Yeah. Well, it's actually Friday for me. Wait, Saturday for me? No, it is Saturday for me. So even I get confused now. I'm confused because we streamed on Thursday, which I usually don't do, but Thursday is when the WoW Classic stress test started. So this is the third day of streaming in a row for me. So it feels like Sunday, especially now that we're playing Minecraft. I'm all out of whack. My rhythms all been thrown. I'm a creature of habit, and when you throw a spanner in the habit, bad things happen to my brain. I found a translation. Bar weep grana nini bongs. Shark to con for spare me eat the boy. Not true. Universal greeting. Shark cons are not even able to verbalize. Still looking good though. Yeah, I'm feeling good about the way I lost. Fitting in its clothes that I grew out of. It's a nice start. Back's been a lot better behaved. I mean, it's never going to be... I mean, it's a permanent chronic condition, so it's never going to be great. But it's better than it was. I'm having fewer bad days since I dropped the weight, so it's always nice. Technique can have burgers on keto, just... Yeah, I mean, I was having patties, like burger patties, as we call them. Burger is the entire thing. Burger is what the Americans refer to as a sandwich. I think it's sometimes whatever. Yeah, no bread. Actually, I haven't had that much bread. I had a couple of McMuffins and a couple of cheeseburgers, but I haven't bought a loaf of bread. Haven't got any bagels yet. I'm scared to get bagels. Bagels are quite carb loaded. So if I have a bagel, I can really only have one instead of 4. Unless I'm going to start chucking on the weight again. Temptation might be too much. I might stick to just buying bagels from shops. Just order one bagel instead of buying a bag of them and make them at home. Trying desperately not to fall into bad habits. I mean, it wasn't particularly hard work to drop the weight. Keto's pretty easy to stick to. But I don't want to ruin all the work I did put in. I did watch... Actually, let me find out how many episodes I did. I watched several episodes. Let me bring up Netflix real quick. And we'll see what where I left off last night before I got too sleepy. Because I did stream for 8.5 hours yesterday as well, which... Even though my streams are pretty low-key, low energy... shush, don't play the... I hate the way they do that, auto-playing trailers on the website. Shush! What are you kidding? What was I saying? Oh, 8.5 hour stream yesterday. It wipes you out. Even when you're not super energetic. It's just, you know, chatting to people and concentrating. Even just playing a game for 8.5 hours. Makes you tired. Okay, so I watched 11 episodes last night. My next episode queued up is episode 12, A Miracle's Worth. It's actually a pretty good episode. Yeah, so I watched like 11 episodes. I'm starting to like it. The translation, I mean. The new dub. It's very distracting because for a lot of the characters, the people they cast are basically sound-alikes for the original cast. But because they all sound like the characters originally sounded, but just a little bit off, it's really distracting. I would have preferred if they just if they were going to recast, don't pick a sound-alike. Because sometimes whoever it is doing Shinji's voice now, instead of Spike, he sounds a little bit like Spike some of the time, and then at other times sounds nothing like Spike. Really weird. I can't quite get used to that. But I like a lot of the new translations so far. Some of the language feels a lot more natural, a lot more conversational. Asuka's a lot more likable. Not just, I'm not talking about the voice actor herself, although she's doing a great job, really, but the way the lines are delivered from Asuka, she's a lot more likable, a lot more sympathetic as well, which is what she should be. She was very difficult to like in the original dub, but she should be a really sympathetic character because she's desperately damaged. And a lot of that didn't come through till very late in her arc because of the way she was acted in the first English dub. Yeah, most of the original cast was willing to return. Apparently they weren't even asked to audition until they'd already, you know, a couple of them already made us think about it. And the fans were kicking up. So yeah, I've got a funny feeling it's something to do with the original contracts. Like, some people will say it needed a redub. I'm just going to pause the Minecraft game so we don't strain through daylight and spawn monsters. So, you know, some of the bits, you know, hardcore fans were, oh, the English dub sucked, but I think it was more about the contracts of the day. Because when those actors signed those contracts way back when, there would be no clauses in those contracts as far as what they're owed for streaming rights. Because that was a big thing in TV for a long time. Sitcoms and stuff, as they went to Netflix and all that kind of stuff, there was a big stink about, because there was no provision about, what's the word I'm looking for? Not proceeds, residuals. None of those old contracts had clauses in for residuals for streaming. Yes, for transmission on free-to-air network television and cable television, but not for streaming. So I got a funny feeling that one of the main reasons they redubbed, not because it needed a redub, but because they needed new contracts so they could make proper legal sense of the whole deal. That said, I don't know why they would remove Fly Me to the Moon from the end credits. Maybe relicensing that was too expensive, but I missed that. I mean, don't get me wrong, they still use some of the original music for the credits, but Fly Me to the Moon is gone, and I used to look forward to that credit. Because I sung Fly Me to the Moon in a musical once. I played Ken Clark, the Man of Steel, in a Superman parody musical in college. And one of my big numbers was Fly Me to the Moon, which I did a duet with, I forget what we called the Lois Lane character. I forget what her actual parody name was, but whatever. Yeah, me and Lois basically sung Fly Me to the Moon as a duet. I can't sing that well, so what I did was a Shatner. I did a spoken word duet, apart from a couple of the chorus bit where we sang together. I did my best. But most of my stuff was Shatner delivered. It was hopefully very funny. I enjoyed doing it. Did you happen to get shaders working 1.1? Yeah, I've been using the ray tracing shaders for a while now. I mean, they're not working perfectly at the moment because they're not designed for 1.14, but there are test versions of Optifine for 1.14. The latest version is 13th revision or something, I think. And the version 6 of the PTEG shaders works okay-ish. It's not perfect, but it looks damn good. I'll show you when we get to the game. So I've had a chance for everybody to turn up. And Yosu, yeah, she's really a lot more sympathetic in the new dub.
Hey, pat on the back! Pat on the back for this guy!
Thank you very much, Six Cheese. 25 months resub already?
Pog.
Jeez, dude. Do you do most of your resubbing offline when I'm not streaming? I feel like I don't thank you 25 times in a row. Love on the chat, please, guys, for that. Can't find a test version that supports shaders yet. If you go to Optifine, go to the downloads page, right at the top there, there's a little URL, a little link that says, let me see what it says. What does it say exactly? Optifine.net/downloads preview versions is what they're called. Yeah, preview versions. I'm currently using today Optifine 1.14.2 HD UF1 Pre-13. And I've been using those test versions since I think Pre-7 or Pre-6. And they've all been working more or less with shaders and also the ray tracing experimental shader as well. Ever experienced Fly Me to the Moon original credits? I'd imagine it would probably be kind of releasing Bebop without real fake. Yeah, I mean, it was part of the thing. Because it was the cover that they used for the credits was really pretty. It was sung by a Japanese voice actress, maybe even one of the main cast, I'm not even sure. But it was a really pretty, gentle version of it. I quite liked it. Oh, it worked. Thanks, Monty. Now you get a sub Lemeo. What? Wait, what worked? What are we talking about? What we're talking about at the moment is the Evangelion, Neon Genesis Evangelion coming out of Netflix. And specifically, we're talking about the redub that they did. And also Optifine. Right, the Optifine thing works, sorry. Two different things, my train of thought, the rails for my train of thought are very, it's a wide gauge rail. It's very hard to, I don't know trains enough to make a derailing or change track jokes. We got any train nerds in chat? There's got to be one of you. Didn't know the host of preview. Yeah, it's not obvious, is it? It's this tiny little link at the top. But yeah, I mean, they're not designed for people just to use. They are literally preview versions for their, more dedicated parts of the community to test and give feedback on and things like that before they're ready. They changed the opening, and that would really... They did change the opening slightly. There's a new bit at the end of the opening. A new logo for whatever, I think... NEU was in it? New... I forget who it was, but I think that's new. I do appreciate they didn't fiddle with the print too much. I mean, it looks a lot clearer than my DVD rips that I've got on my media drive. Because I think I ripped those at quite low... I got 480 back in the day. So they're pretty low resolution and a little bit grainy, and yeah, the transfer looks great. The music in the opening is the same, yeah. Looking forward to episode 19, aka where the Angel of Might gets
Hey, pat on the back!
There are a lot of moments I'm looking forward to seeing again. another Sijimson free sub. I was wondering if that was going to trigger, because I saw you got the badge. I wasn't going to say anything to...
First watching your 3Ds video 6 years ago. You are one of the best online creators I know. I started watching your streams 2 years ago and they were a blast to come and hang out in.
Go away! You should probably get to the game at this point so we can go put a thing on the grave.
Now boarding Blunty's train of thought, stopping in a siding about halfway through the journey for an uncommon amount of time.
Music's a little bit loud for my taste. There we go. Alright, back to game. Let's go to the graveyard and get Skull Kid Ray's gold block happening. I've switched back to the what it was called. Lithos Core texture pack. I've still got the fault improved over it, which is still giving me some of the bump mapping, but not all the bump mapping I was using. Yeah, Lithos Core just released a new update, which includes a few more of the new blocks for 1.14. So I went back to it to see how we go. Yeah, some of the bump mapping, that improved pack doesn't work anymore, like on these particular blocks. I think it does still work on some of it though. So we'll see how we go today. Looks a lot better than other streaming. What other streaming versions? Like, I haven't been able to watch Evangelion on streaming services, or even be able to get it on DVD for years. Or we're not talking about Evangelion. I understand why Flight to the Moon isn't a thing back when it first came out. I reckon the royalties. Yeah, we're talking about royalties a bit earlier. But, yeah. Much like as I was conjecturing with the voice acting, it may be that you know, they'd have to relicense it, obviously, for streaming, because the original contracts back in those days, streaming just wasn't a thing. And that was still when people were on dial-up. Streaming video was delusional to think about. So yeah, it may just be that relicensing that... I don't even know whether that was specifically recorded for Evangelion, or it just happened to be a Japanese version of that song that they used. I never heard it anywhere else before or since. And streaming versions of other classics... Ah, right, yeah. Oops. Boink! Thank you, Skokidru. We're looking good from up here, aren't we? Must be back in this texture pack. Gold looks more like mustard. Oh, well, the sun's behind us. Let me... Actually, what the hell's going on here? Why's the sun all the way over there? Yeah, it does look a bit mustard, doesn't it? Yeah. Wait a second. Am I having that... I don't think I'm having that glitch. Yeah, everything might be slightly green. Let me... Video settings, shaders.
Hey, Krillin!
Shader options.
Hey, Krillin! Hey, Krillin! What? Someone followed.
Thank you very much for that follow.
Why
Who was it?
Me?
Lukeberg.
Quack!
Nope, it wasn't that weird greeny glitch. If I said I lived next door to what was a train station a century ago, how would that count as a derail of your train of thought? Not really. Bebop's release is noticed to be looking... Yeah, Bebop does not look great, does it? I mean, I've got to transfer... Again, I've got to transfer I did off my DVDs sitting on my media drive, so I haven't actually been watching the streaming version. But yeah, I've heard the same complaint from friends. Yeah, I might switch these textures back to the other one. A lot of the stuff I like in Lithos, but some stuff I don't. I'm going to wind up with a hybrid once everything's settled in stone. Have you gone back and watched your first couple of episodes? Can't even recognize most of the area. Of the Minecrafts, this Minecraft world, yeah. Yeah, we've done a lot of I mean, there used to be a big fucking hill right there and everything. We carved that away. Whoops. We've done a fair amount of terraforming. Most of this is still natural, We changed this a little bit. We carved this out a little bit to make it feel a bit more natural. Down here it's completely different. There used to be a series of hills all the way back through here. We carved those away. I think there was one over here as well. Most of this was pretty flat when we found it though. That's why I chose this area. Because it had a decently flat area. But yeah. Done a lot of work. Now, speaking of which, you have to decide what we're actually going to do today. Oh, shit. Forgot I didn't fix this yet. Oops, daisy. We fixed the ground bit where the creeper blew up, but not this bit. Can I? Thank you. There we go. You can see the bump mapping on the edge of that block. How did I not even see this? This is so weird. Need more of those. Blink. There. Should just watch a rip of the original if I watch it. It's a common complaint. Of Bebop? Yeah. I think you still get Bebop on DVD, actually. I don't know whether it's out of print. Oh, I've got these as well. Jesus. How did I don't know how I managed to even miss all of this when we fixed the ground. There we go. It's back to normal, right? Oh, except for the lantern. I'll put that back too. There we go. Did I have 2 flags here? Or only the one? I don't even remember anymore. I think I only had the one. I think we're waiting on the second one, aren't we? Whatever. What a guy you are. Thank you. Watched it on a Hulu. We don't even have Hulu here, so I can't make that comparison. Doesn't look great. Some of the sounds have changed for no reason as well, like the gunshot episode 1 being changed from a loud impact to a small pop. That's weird. I didn't even fix that roof yet, did I? That's still off. I haven't done anything since we last streamed this, by the way. I got so distracted by playing World of Warcraft, BFA, and the testing. I didn't even go back to finish this after we streamed last weekend. I have to do that today. What I think I might do today, in general, is we'll at least put the foundations down for the other buildings, because I kind of want to start on the actual paths and get a path system going properly instead of this dirt stuff we put down temporarily to line stuff up. Take a look around here to see if we forgot anything. Yeah, we have to figure out what we're going to do with that pond as well. I keep changing my mind about how to use that. That's in the release, which is the version of Hulu. Yeah. One anime I wish they would redub would be the first couple of seasons of Pokemon. Yeah. Go back and change the rice ball. Donuts! What the fuck are you talking about, Brock? Cultural ignorance. Oh, kids won't understand what a rice bowl is. Kids won't get that rice can be a snack. It's too confusing. Fuck you, Fanami. Was Fanami 4 kids? It was 4 kids, wasn't it? 4 kids did the donut thing, yeah. Man, 4 kids has a lot to answer for. Alright. What's my inventory? Yeah, we're going to clean out the inventory so I can start with the clean one. And we'll do something. RTX on. Kind of. I mean, this is ray tracing you're looking at, but it's not RTX. This is software-based ray tracing. Prove that to you by going over here. So I got this set up. See? See the reflections? The color mixing? The path tracing? And even when that red thing isn't on screen, we still see the reflection of it. That's how I can tell it's path tracing and ray tracing instead of just regular screen space. shaders. But yeah, I do miss the bump mapping that we had on these and the other texture pack we were using. Still got it on this though, no. Just doesn't work on these at the moment. Difference between the texture packs we're using there. Let's see. String can go away. Whoops. Put those away. We'll keep the white concrete. Keep that. Keep that. Don't care about the dirt. What did I just say? Do we even have room for the dirt anymore? Where's my dirt box? Let me go to sunset. Yeah, there we go. Alright. We need to keep most of this on us, I think. Alright, but we definitely need more spruce slabs. I could probably use more stripped birch logs. Alright, let's have a nap so we don't spawn mobs everywhere, and we'll get on that. Do you think that more developers will take advantage of software-based ray tracing rather than RTX? No. I mean, to a small extent, maybe. They already do, and have been for years. It's not a new thing. Ray tracing is not new. People think it's new because NVIDIA went, hey, here's ray tracing, and everyone goes, oh my god. NVIDIA invented a no, NVIDIA did not invent ray tracing. Every Pixar movie you've ever seen, yeah, it uses it. But it's only been recently you can do it in real time to any useful effect, is the point. So you haven't seen it in many games. And when you have, it's been rather limited to just a few specific things instead of overall. But no, doing path tracing and ray tracing in real time on a software layer is still pretty expensive as far as processing goes. You can get away with it in Minecraft because, well, Minecraft looks like this. You couldn't do this kind of path tracing in, I don't know, Overwatch. It would just tank performance too much. But yeah, now that we're getting hardware acceleration, I mean, NVIDIA are already doing it. AMD are going to be doing it. I'm sure whatever Intel does with their GPU, that's probably going to have hardware acceleration of ray tracing to some extent. So yeah, once more and more people have the ability to do it, it'll be more and more worthwhile for game developers to spend time implementing it. That's the big thing at the moment. There's no point in a developer spending a bunch of time implementing a feature that only a fraction of their audience can use. Their time is better spent elsewhere. Their person hours, excuse me, are better spent elsewhere in the game, making the game better. So that's the limiting factor right now. Just like when 3D acceleration first came out, very few people could use it because the hardware was expensive and rare. So it wasn't that common for at least a couple of years. Now it's everywhere, literally. Let's see. What am I missing from my loadout here? Spruce planks, right? Here we go. Now we're in business. For licensing, yeah, they're a completely different thing now, aren't they? IE have full rights to it. Who? What? Seeing how the Switch uses an NVIDIA processor, do you think the next version of the Switch will have hardware acceleration? Probably not. Probably not. No, the architecture that the Switch uses is very different to the architecture that GPUs, the standard desktop GPUs use. It's in a similar family, but quite different. You know, it might live on the silicon as part of that family of whatever else they're doing with that. But it won't be used in-game for proper ray tracing. You can use ray tracing cores for doing other jobs. Aside from just literally the lighting. Right, where do I want to start? Let's go over here and build this little... Let's going to make this kind of a tavern, wasn't I? I think we might want to make it bigger. Yeah. Alright. Let's see if we can mark something out here. If we go 2 in for the veranda. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll make it 7 wide. 2 out for the veranda, and we'll go about there-ish. There-ish. You didn't see that. Try to get a deal where they'd have more creative control than the creator that epically backfired on them. This looks good. The lighting, a mod. Yeah, more or less. I'm using an experimental version of Optifine with an experimental version of a ray tracing shader. The text spec I'm using is not experimental. You can get that yourself. That's just lithos. If you type !MC in the chat, Moobot will give you some information and links on specifically what I'm using. Proper file names and proper links and everything. Oh, hang on a sec. Yeah, we might not want to come all the way back to there because that's where the... Oh, I guess we can dogleg the building a bit, can't we? Let's dogleg the building. We'll go... Make a little backroom kitchen thing back here or something for the staff. Yeah. Switch uses Tegra X1, sure does. Which is a mobile graphics chip, so NVIDIA could probably just provide a newer version of its Series chip. Supporting better resolutions like 4K. I mean, there already is a better version of that chip. Like when Nintendo implemented that chip in the Switch, there was already a better version on the market. Which is, you know, something a lot of people complained about, not realizing how console development cycles actually work. Because they're idiots. I don't think there's a next version of that chip publicly announced for NVIDIA. NVIDIA have kind of moved away from the Tegra a little bit and more into the... I forget the name of the thing that they're using for their self-driving cars, but that's also in the same chipset family. The low power, high efficiency thing that they're using to do their machine learning and self-driving cars and shit like that. That belongs in the same family. As possible, Project Scarlet might have a version of ray tracing. Yep. I think that's already confirmed, actually. Because the architecture that they're using from AMD is part of a family that they are doing hardware ray tracing stuff with. But again, how useful that is in practical terms is another issue altogether. As far as using it in-game for a full-on ray trace lighting, like in CD Projekt Red's new thing. I forget the name of it. Some little game they're making about robots or something. That's going to be fully ray traced apparently. So yeah, if you are looking forward to that game, maybe start also saving up for a new graphics card that'll support ray tracing. What's that robot game called again? Cybertronic something? By the way, you have no idea how apoplectic some fans get when you pretend not to know the name of that game. Which is why I'm doing it right now, obviously. But, yeah, it was... I don't even know if I can tell you who I was... No, I can't tell you who I was talking to and why. This is part of an NDA thing. I was talking to somebody. And I was pretending to know nothing about Cyberpunk. And they got really, really angry. How do you not know about this game? How do you... what do you... I'm sitting there wetting my pants. People are fun. But yeah, they just confirmed, I think only a few days ago. It was after E3 was done. It confirmed that, yeah, Cyberpunk 1999, is it? Some sort of date. Is going to have like ray tracing stuff. And that's going to look awesome in that game, because that's all about reflective surfaces and neon lights and plastics and metal and everything. It's going to look so amazing. I mean, that's going to be the game that, you know, Nvidia are going to be hauling out to show off what ray tracing does. Because right now, what do they got? They got Quake 2, and wait, is it Call of Duty or Battlefield? Which one of those? Which one of those pathetic, stupid games has the ray tracing in it? I'm not trying to troll this time. I genuinely can't remember because I don't give a fuck about either of them. It's Call of Duty, right? Yeah, people actually care about Cyberpunk, so you know they're going to haul that thing out. Actually, I think we might be better off doing what we did over there and just filling in this entire area with dirt so we don't have to worry about spiders. Which means I'm going to need a lot more dirt. Battle Park 5. Wolf of Cybertron. Man, I wish that game was better. I'm so excited about that. It's just so ordinary. I'll tell you what though, if they ever did make a good Transformers game, ray tracing, it'd be good on that. Again, it's all about the metal and the glowing lights and the laser bolts and the plastics and, yeah, bloody amazing. So, hello Ali, by the way. If you don't know my mate Ali, you should definitely give her a follow. I talked her into streaming a couple of years ago. And she was like, oh, I don't know whether I can like streaming. I don't think I can do it. I'm like, hey Ali, I've known you for a decade. People are going to respond to you in a really good way. Because you've got a lot more charisma than I do. And even I can attract an audience. And here she is. A couple of years later, streaming Monster Hunter World to like 100 people. Like 8 times my audience size. So go give her a follow. Don't be an idiot. Oh shit, hello. This was a bit slow taking a nap. Which smartphone do I use? I use Apple. I've always used them. It's like since the first iPhone came out, like you couldn't even buy it in Australia, but I did a promotion for a company who was importing them, so they paid me by giving me an iPhone, basically, the first version. So, yeah. It's not because I'm an Apple fanboy, it's just because it works better for the kind of workflow that I need it for. I've tried many Androids, reviewed many Androids, reviewed some of them quite well. It's not as if I'm against Android, but yeah. For me personally, and the way I work, and the way I want my stuff to work, and particularly the types of photo and video editing and filming apps, they just work better on Apple because the developers only have one target piece of hardware. Or, you know, 2 or 3 in any given generation, but it's still a lot easier to optimize your shit for an iPhone than it is for a gajillion different kinds of Androids, each of which have different processors and different cameras and different lenses and
Hey, Krillin, what? Someone followed.
different versions of the Android software. Thank you very much, by the way, for
Why
that
me?
follow there.
What?
Foxy the Pirater Fox. Cool name. I like all those things. G1 Transformers for ray tracing. Is that new Bumblebee? Oh, I see new. Is the Bumblebee movie out on DVD yet, or streaming or something? Or I'm aging myself again. Is it out on DVD? Is it out on VHS? Can I get a laser disc of that new Bumblebees game yet? Movie? I didn't mind that. I mean, it wasn't great. It was a big step forward for the Bayverse Transformers, though. Oh, hey, there's Ali. How's the Awesomest Hunter doing today? Have you gone back to try Dauntless again yet, Ali? I swear to God, you'll love the game if you just fucking try it. Vegeta. Yeah, one of the viewers here recorded that for me. I haven't seen them in chat yet today, but yeah. They recorded that for me a couple of weeks ago. I'm gonna need more spruce slabs. I think Bumblebee might be out here. Coolsies. And I imagine it would be on Netflix, if anyway, because they've got the other Transformers movies, I think. I wouldn't know, because I don't want to rewatch the damn thing, so I scroll past them. It's either Amazon or Netflix. One of them has it. So that's the only two streaming services I use regularly. What was the other? I'm trying to remember. There was another movie I'm waiting to watch again on streamer. Came out at around about the same time as Bumblebee, I think. Got Marvel streaming yet? Wouldn't mind seeing that again. Again, a movie I didn't really love, but I want to see it again. Need to install on PC now. Marvel won't be out for a few months. I've got tickets to see Spider-Man on Monday. Looking forward to that. Monday session at like 10 or 11, I think it was. So, with any luck, I'll be alone in my gold class cinema. Always go see movies on a Monday morning if I can. And I'm already out of slabs again. Doop. Oh yeah, it won't be coming to Netflix, will it? Because, yeah, Disney took the license away. Ooh. You're out of town with Spider-Man releases? Oh no. Wow. I don't think it's one of those movies that's going to be a big issue if you get spoiled on something. I don't think there's going to be any massive, amazing... I mean, there's one twist I can think of that they're going to do, but I'm not even going to say it out loud. Just in case. What else was around that same time? There was Bumblebee, Marvel. What else did I go see around that time? She named the obvious one involving Mysterio. Oh no, I mean that's a 4-year-old could predict that shit. I'm talking about something else they could do with the concept that they've already mentioned. That it was already kind of teased a little bit in one movie, perhaps, maybe. But again, I don't want to say it out loud because I don't want to put the thought in somebody's head and all they're going to do is be thinking about it the entire time they're watching the movie. Because that happens to me sometimes. It's going to happen to me ever since I thought of this thing, so... What you're saying is you're going to be fuff. Oh, Ali. Oh, Ali. Why, Ali? I need more logs now. Evil Iron Man from another dimension. Oh, wouldn't you? Oh, that's what they should do. They should have an alternate dimension Iron Man pop in and introduce himself as Tony Stank. I'm Tony Stank, and I am Iron Man. Jungle Oak. Game development class. Ew. Alright, let's see here. Give myself a little bit of room. Not too much room? Yeah. Nah, that should be enough. Again, I'm not too worried about the interiors, just as long as the exterior looks alright. Might even not do the balcony all the way around the back of this one. Just kind of go like this. Yeah. Yeah, let's come all the way back here. I'll just have balcony on. Yeah, we'll run it all the way back to here, I think. That should look pretty neat. Mysterio could also torment Spider-Man with illusions of Tony Stark. Wow. That's probably a foregone conclusion. Damn it. Come on, Minecraft, just cooperate with me for a second. Sun's going down. Sun's getting awfully low. Is there a Minecraft mod that I can play that sound file every time the sun gets low? Sun's getting awfully low, big fella. Too many stairs! Robert Downey Jr. will probably physically appear in the movie. Well, I mean, there's a few ways they could do that. They could do it in a little flashback, or he could do like a holographic message again, like he left at the funeral. Spoiler alert, by the way. You haven't seen it yet, it's your fault. Actually, there's an interesting theory I came across the other day that would be a fun way to be able to bring Robert Downey Jr. back in a practical way. That's to be like, you know, that wasn't a holographic message. That was just that was Tony AI. That was a Tony Jarvis right there. I mean, it's not outside of the realms of what they've already established they can do, so. And it is a gimmick I think they've used in the comics before as well. Now, how do I want to do this part exactly? Yeah, there we go. That works out. We got a little too wide down here for the back room. I like it. We might, we could do a little Japanese style door and use some banners at head height. Those, what do they call those little doorway curtain things that are used in Japanese restaurants and things? There's a name for them, I always forget it. Do a couple of those back there. Robert Daniels just record his phones over there. You know what? I kind of think that he's a bit too dedicated an actor to do that. These days, or actually always, when he does something, he wants to do it proper. Annoying. They're called annoying. I like them. Last movie we went to see was Godzilla King of the Monsters. I haven't seen that. Never a huge Godzilla fan, so I'm just gonna wait for. I'm gonna watch it, but I'm gonna wait for that to come to Netflix or whatever. Definitely record it from home though. Probably. Right, I guess we'll put the entrance on this side. Yeah. Alright, so let's put one there. 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 And there. Slam one in there. Do one there. There. Actually. Yeah. And that feels about right. No, I want slabs, don't I? So we can get that pattern. Never seemed to work right around me. One more time I tried to put something like that up. It was a disaster. What are we talking about? Oh, the curtain things. Why not have a double door for the entrance to the center of it? Maybe. Try it. This is supposed to be a pub or a restaurant or something rather than a private residence, so maybe that makes sense. It does make the window placement awkward though, but does that matter? Maybe not. Yeah, I think we can get away with that. That might be better, actually. Yeah. If this is a restaurant, we'll have a smoke in the back room. It's not a bad idea either. We could also probably hide a campfire somewhere so it looks like there's smoke coming out of the top of the damn thing all the time. Redstone could probably do it somehow. do what? Like Japanese sliding door? No, I think the concrete blocks are a bit thick for that. If we could use like vertical slabs, we could maybe figure out something that's close to that. But yeah, we don't have white slabs, and we can't even use vertical slabs. Oops. Could maybe make it bigger and give it a bar. Well, if we're going to call this the restaurant, maybe we put an actual bar next door. This is turning a little bit differently than originally envisioned as far as the shape goes. We could probably put a bar elsewhere. But I'm not actually going to do the interior, at least not at this stage. Right now, I'm just worried about getting enclosures for the sake of villagers. And once we get the town up and running, we're going to come back through and start doing the interior stuff, I think. Right now, I'm worried about the outsides looking right. So we'll do all the buildings, and then I'm going to go around and do the paths, and then we're going to do the lighting to make sure we're as mob-proof as possible. Then we're going to let the villagers breed up. Then we're going to worry about the insides. And then make an auto resource pack where audio clip plays every time it opens. Oh, like the greeting when you go into a Japanese restaurant. They yell at you. Welcome to our store! What did I come back for? Oh, slabs, didn't I? Yeah. Stained glass planes for a sliding door. The issue with that is they stick to the middle of the slime block. Oh, sort of front or back. Which means the slime block is, or the slime piston is quite exposed, and it looks kind of ugly. I've tried it before, I don't like how it looks. Oh, the audio clip must keep aiming at the door, right. Only if I can include Misato's explanation. And I'm not sure I like Misato's new voice actress, by the way. She sounds a lot more mature, which works for when she's in command and has her serious face on, but doesn't work as well when she's just fucking with Shinji. But yeah, as I was starting to talk about, for overall, complaints about not being used to how the characters sound anymore, considering how many times I've watched the damn thing. I think I like the new dub a bit better. Some of the moments hit a little closer to what they should be, I feel like. Some of the little emotional dots, especially the stuff between Shinji and Asuka. I feel like they play a little more naturally. And she comes off a little bit better in it. Instead of just being purely obnoxious, it's just she's damaged and confused and doesn't quite know how to relate to him. I like it, but I have no comparison. Yeah. So that's the thing. I've watched the original show. I don't even know. At least a dozen times. At the very least a dozen times. Probably a lot more. And I've even met some of the voice actors in person. The original dub. So I have a connection to the show in that respect as well. He went drinking with Spike a few times. The original voice of Shinji. I went drinking with the guy a few times. So it's weird. It's weird because that's not what I'm used to, and it's weird because I have a sort of personal connection to some parts of that voice cast as well. So, if I like certain parts, it almost feels like I'm betraying that. Not literally, but it's a weird civil subconscious thing. Because they were kind of fucked over in not being asked back before they started auditioning. Shit like that. Yeah, I think I like this quite deep, actually. I'll put some chairs or something out front. Yeah, judging on its own merits, as for what it does to the characters in the show, I think I'm pro the new dub.
Hey, Krillin! Hey, Krillin! Hey, Krillin! What? Someone followed.
Thank you for the follow.
Why me?
Zaid321 favors. How does Casey compare to Spike in terms of Shinji? I think I like Spike more for most of it. But I'm not sure yet whether that's because Spike did more for the character or because that's just what I'm really used to. There's a moment in the third episode where Shinji just loses his fucking mind with the, was it fourth angel? When the other two are in the cockpit with him. And he just pulls out the knife and goes apeshit. That scream. I think Spike did the scream a lot better. But the new one does sound a little more natural. But also a lot more feminine at times. So I'm not sure about Shinji yet. Performance-wise, it's pretty damn close as far as the emotional notes go. But yeah, I'm not entirely convinced about Shinji yet. Spoilers, yeah, for a 20-year-old show. I mean, telling you that Shinji gets angry when he's attacking a huge monster isn't really a spoiler, I feel like. I feel like that's just kind of implied in the show itself. Nope. Let's put the fence up first before we worry about what we're going to do with the banners. There's a thought. Can't do fence here unless we have a 2-gap. Crapola. Fourth episode of memory repeated stamps and usual. Is it the fourth episode? Also, when we repeat substantial correct, it's been a while. It was third or fourth. Early on, anyway. But yeah, there's one episode that's really going to tell whether or not I accept this new guy as Shinji proper. And I don't know what episode number it is. But it's the one with fourth Ava. And if you know what I'm talking about, maybe don't say it explicitly, because that is a bit of a spoiler. For those who are watching for the first time, it's kind of an important moment. But yeah. There's that bit. That little sequence of emotional resonance, that's going to be the most telling part about the new Shinji performance. For me, I think. Because that part in the show, when I watched it for the very first time, oh, what a knife twist. That one hit me. Episode 18. Okay, sure. But yeah, keep in mind, guys, no overt spoilers, because there are people watching it for the first time, and there are some bits in that show that you just need to experience proper, regardless of dub. Fourth is the one where... Right. So, yeah, it was the third one I'm thinking of then. Yeah, there's a few moments I'm really looking forward to seeing if they change it. I know... And again, spoilers, so I'm going to dance around it a bit here. But one of the very late episodes, where we meet a certain fair-haired character, and there's a big revelation, they changed the wording at one point, and I saw this on Twitter this morning. There's a bit where one character in the original dub tells a different character that they love them. Not necessarily romantic love, but just, I love you. And that was changed in the new dub to, because I like you. Which changes the context of the conversation slightly. In a way that some people are upset about. I kind of think it's better being slightly implied. I don't know. Nope. Roll around again. People are, yeah, I mean, anime fans will get angry about any change you make. Well, I'm going to have to wait to see it for myself to see how the line is delivered, because I've only seen people complaining about it. I haven't actually experienced that moment myself, so... But yeah, the word that it's translated from in Japanese, apparently in the context it was used, it's more like when you hear 13-year-olds talking about, oh, do you like him or do you like him? That kind of thing. That's the kind of implication of that word. So the new dub might be more accurate to that, some people are arguing, or I don't know. I'm just going to watch it and see what happens. But I can understand where they're coming from. What episode are we up to in the redub? I finished off at episode 11 last night. So the next one on my list is 12. Which, if I remember correctly, is quite a good one. My favorite episode has to be 19 for reasons. Let me check what 19 is real quick. I'm terrible about remembering episode numbers for various stuff. Let's have a look here. And just Evangelion episodes. Episode 19 is A Man's Battle. Ah, yeah. Yeah, I like 18. The one before that. And that's one of the ones I was talking about before that's going to be a very telling moment. Actually, 17 as well. Oh god, there's so many good episodes in that show. Sun's going down. She's like 14 years old. Yep. Exactly. I mean, at the age and romantic inexperience that these... I need more dirt. At the age these kids are and the romantic inexperience they have, especially with some of them having intimacy issues, fact, all of them do, really. I think the new translation is probably closer to the intent, really. But I understand why people are angry at it, because as a moment that happened, when it happened, in the era it happened in the context it happened in, implying that kind of relationship between those two characters was a big deal for a lot of people. So, politically understand why people are mad. And again, I'm trying very difficult not to just flat out spoil the moment for people here. And I ask you to show the same respect for the other people here. But again, for those who know what I'm talking about, it's pretty straightforward what we're talking about. But yeah, you know, it's important. I think it's a good thing people are talking about it, at least. I'm happy to have the debate, as it were. What am I going to do about this corner? I think we just do this, right? I'm out of slabs again. Incredible. It's still implied, so that you know. Yeah, it's just implied a little less strongly, is all. But there's still all the body language. I mean, they haven't reanimated that scene to reduce any of that. It's just one word that's changed, and like I said, people will get angry about anything that they latch on to, sometimes unreasonably, sometimes reasonably. I can see both sides of this argument, but I think I'm on the side of, it's probably okay. But again, I haven't seen it myself, so I don't know how it's delivered, how the emotional impact lands in that episode. It's a different performance could change that. I mean, that character hasn't even appeared yet, so I don't even know what they sound like in the new dub. Yeah, I think this is going to work fine. So it's just redub and hasn't been graphic. No, as far as I can tell, they haven't fiddled with anything visually. Like, they haven't even cleaned up some of the, you know, with old cell-based animation. You know, they literally drew this stuff and shot it with a camera. There's still some scenes we can see the background jitter as the various layers get moved slightly between, you know, shots and things like that, or between frames. So they haven't even stabilized any of that, which you can sometimes see in when they rescan or upsample some of these shows. So yeah, visually, I think it's absolutely pure still. Yeah, this feels fine. What was these? Maybe we don't do that. Notice some bits of Shinji shaking for no reason. It looks strange. People that far in the series, from what I've seen, it's been like to make the final 3 episodes. Well, they might have skipped to that because that's their favorite bit or something. I don't know. I mean, if I'd kept going last night, I could have got through it all pretty easily. But yeah, I think seeing how quickly those complaints appeared after it went up, they probably skipped straight to that scene. Because they were worried about exactly this kind of thing. The dub changing something for them. Or the redub, I should say. I mean, it's not as if they're going to spoil themselves because they've already seen the show, like me, probably dozens upon dozens of times. How did I forget to extend this, by the way? Let's go outside and do it, make it easy on myself. I know they did a video remaster a decade ago. Does that count? They did a rescan for the DVDs, I think. Not really a remaster. They just rescanned the original. As opposed to doing a VHS transfer for the DVDs. Or it might have been the Blu-rays or whatever. Same thing. Might watch the original dub once I finish Netflix. Yeah. You're probably going to have to pirate it because you can't get it anymore. You can't... It's not streaming anywhere, and you can't buy it on DVD or Blu-ray or anything anymore. You might be able to find a second-hand copy, although with the redub out, I reckon those will start shooting up in price as collector's items. And fans are probably quite unlikely to rid themselves of those. But yeah, you probably have to pirate the original version, I think, at this point. But yeah, it might be worth doing, just to see the context of changes they make, and it'd be interesting to get your perspective on looking at the show the other way around, seeing the new version or the new dub first, and then seeing what the original was. Well, it is their fault. People are pirating it. Yeah, people have been complaining for years that you just can't buy it anymore. All these fans have been at them and at them and at them, and they said, "Oh, it's streaming on Netflix," and everyone, "Yay!" And then they went, "We're redubbing it," and all the fans went, "Ooh." Ruh-roh. Yeah. Kind of of two minds whether or not to give this the pitch roof or not. I think it needs one. I think it's a big expense to go flat. We've got all the flat rooms there. I think down here we'll just have all pitched. So glad I still have my Platinum Edition box set. Yeah, I've still got all my DVDs over there. I'd go get them, but they're buried behind a bunch of boxes at the moment. But yeah, I've still got my original run. You know, first printing DVDs. But yeah, every time I've watched it, I've just watched it off my media drive because I scanned them years ago, and it's just easier to use Plex and just go, bloop, next episode, instead of having to change the disc every 3 or 4 episodes. Well, I think it was 3 episodes per DVD. Something ridiculous like that. It's quite annoying when you're trying to binge watch a show and you keep having to get up to replace the DVD. Bad old days. Alright, how do I want to go here? Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we go from there, that gives us odds to work from. The reason I never watched it before is because I didn't feel like finding a torrent. Yeah, I imagine the torrents of the original series are probably going to get populated again now. There's going to be more and more people seeding it as, you know, portions of the fan base are angry about the redub. There's probably a demand for that to be fed out to the pirates again. In fact, I'm going to look now. Let me see here. Load up my Opera browser so I can use my VPN. That's a trick, by the way, if you're Australian. Yeah, how they've filtered out at ISP level several of the more popular grey sites. Just use Opera browser as a built-in VPN. Makes it real easy. Fuck it, let's I'm gonna try the Pirate Bay. Is that still up these days? I haven't used it. Oh yeah, Pirate Bay's still up. Alright. Neon Genesis. Yeah, these days I just tend to use Easy TV because the only things I tend to torrent are just TV shows. Just so I don't get spoiled on the stuff that takes, you know, days, weeks, months, or nevers to actually get to Australia. No results. Let's just try Evangelion. No results. That's weird. Oh well. I'll try that some other time. go sleep. One thing which would have backfired and was being rumoured was live action. Oh, the live action remake, yeah. That was going around for a while. I think they're still doing a live action Americanized Akira, aren't they? Last I heard, that was still the thing that was trying to be pushed forward. There was a rumour for a while, 10 years or so ago, that they were going to do a live action Voltron. Kind of glad that that never happened and we got the Netflix animated series instead, which was mostly pretty damn good. Some of the later seasons are a bit, but you know. First couple of seasons of that Voltron show on Netflix were pretty fun. Very right. Oh, the live action Bebop. Yeah, no. Just leave that alone. Do you have any experience with CBD or no? The name Blunty has nothing to do with me and my choices of recreational substance. I'll just tell you that now. I like booze for my recreational substance. I've tried marijuana exactly 3 times in my entire life. And one of those 3 times was for pain management. Or at least trying to. Didn't work out so well. Do I have any stairs on me? I do. Excellent. Let's see here. Nope. Persistent depression. I would talk to your doctor about that before trying to self-medicate, mate. Really. As someone who has manic depression themselves, you 100% should speak to a medical professional before trying to self-medicate. Talk to them about it. Doctor-patient confidentiality means you're not going to get yourself into legal hot water. Yeah, self-medication of depression is dangerous. Not always the worst plan, but dangerous if you go in blind, as it were. And I do not feel comfortable giving anyone advice on that. So I am not a medical professional. Let's see how that looks up from the ground. Like the initial buzz. Oh no, alcohol's a very, very bad idea for self-medication. I drink booze in moderation. And never, ever, ever because I feel a bit mopey. And especially never, ever, ever when I'm actually having a depressive episode. And super duper never, ever, ever when I'm manic. It's a recipe for absolute fucking disaster. Boink. Okay. I think probably the easiest way to do this is if we just go bonk, bonk, Is that how I did over there? What did I do over there? Stair facing backwards. A slab off the end of it, looks like. Like so. I think that's what I did. Ouch. It's highly invisible for me to drink now, considering I'm on 50 milligrams patches of estradiol this week. Hormone replacement, isn't that? Forgive my ignorance. I didn't know alcohol was an issue with that. No, that's definitely not what I did over there. Yep, cool. Yeah, I wasn't aware alcohol was an issue with HRT. Live and learn. I mean, I don't even know. I don't know what's a smart question to ask. Oh wait, no, I was looking at it from a weird angle. It's just a stair like that. Excuse me. No. Oh, hang on, I've got a slab up there, that's why. There we go. Ouch. Yeah, I actually like that. It's a little bit more bulkier than that, but it gives it the same kind of effect there. Cool, that's what we'll stick with then. Alcohol stays in your body longer, mess with menstruation levels. Oh. Interesting. Actually, it's probably best we don't have those there. So if we just leave these here, we can hollow out the inside of this roof. I don't remember what I did over there. It's probably the same thing. I'm going to need that. Opera's VPN doesn't trigger Netflix's anti-proxy. Is an easy way to watch some shows. I thought it did. Last time I checked, it did. Might have changed things a bit. I wouldn't rely on it necessarily. Netflix are always fiddling with that to try and prevent people from exploiting. Look at this. We come back to about here with it, maybe. We'll just do a section roof there, and we'll leave the back room flat as if it was a little add-on, I think. Want to watch Stranger Things Season 3? Yeah, probably watch it. I'm not as goo-goo gaga for that show as some people seem to be, but, you know, I didn't hate it. Ooh, and now I'm out of concrete. Okay. I used to use Opera browser to hack Flash games like Adventure Quest. Flash games, I don't miss those. Problem is that alcohol is used socially, so it kind of feels like missing out on fun if you're not joining. Well, I mean, if you can't have fun without booze, or if you're hanging around with the people who can't socialize without booze, might be time to reevaluate how much time you spend doing that. Yeah, I know what you mean. It is an issue in the video game industry. on the journalism / influencer side of things that has been a topic of discussion amongst us for a while now, especially in Australia. Because Australia's a very drinky culture, traditionally speaking. It's getting less like that these days. The millennials have sort of, as they came up, that sort of became an issue for them. They rolled back from that a little bit, but Generation X, certainly. And yeah, basically every industry event you go to, there's booze. Every media event, every product launch, there's booze. Very few of us get smashed, but there's always booze. Which is helpful to me because I am capable of doing it in moderation. When I choose to. I don't always choose to. But because of my social anxiety, I do use it to self-medicate to some extent. To help relax me a little bit in some social situations. I'm not talking about getting smashed every time I need to talk to somebody. But a beer, maybe even two, helps relax me just enough to get over the social anxiety on those days where it is a big issue. Because it's not... Oh, Wandering Trader. It's not always an issue for me in those social situations, so I don't always need to drink to get through them. But, if you suffer, some days are extremely bad. And you just can't possibly face being in a group of people and having to socially interact. Then, I will sometimes get a pint or two. But again, I try and be extremely self-aware about how much I do that, how often I do that, why I'm doing it, should I be doing it. I spend at least 15 minutes weighing all that up so I don't fall into the habit of doing it. So as soon as it becomes a habit, especially if you're like me and you're a habit-forming individual, yeah. Where's your other llama, dude? You're supposed to have two. Where'd your other one go? Did it spawn inside the house and die? You got it anyway. Oh, haven't seen one before. Podzol. He's got no scrollables. I don't think I've seen one of these guys with Podzol before, though. I don't need it, but interesting. Alright, what was I doing? Oh, concrete. I needed concrete. Someone had an alcoholic father, and yeah. I have family who had issues with substance abuse as well, so I know exactly where you're coming from on that one. Makes you a little bit extra self-aware about what you're doing, doesn't it? Having seen it from the other side of the fence, what a problem with substance abuse can do to the people around them. Yeah. Can relate. One reason I worry about working in Japan or Russia. Oh yeah, Japan's booze culture is significant as well. It is kind of socially expected for you to drink with workmates and things like that. It's yeah. Again, that issue is becoming less and less as a new generation comes up and becomes more and more aware of it. There are more people talking about it, but it's still a big thing. The same thing is true of many Taiwanese companies as well. Maybe not so much with your workmates, but certainly when you're dealing with them as an influencer / media type guy. They will very often, step number one, order you a drink. But you will find, I'm not sure about Japan, but you will find most of the time that when that is, the social default, just explaining to someone that you don't drink or can't drink or whatnot, most people won't be sort of judgy about it these days. I have to do it several times recently because, on the keto diet, most booze was out. Certainly no beer. I mean, I could have whiskey, neat, things like that. No problem. Most of the mixes are, you know, they default as sugary drinks. And asking for a Jack and Coke with Coke no sugar is a bit of a weird order. But yeah, no, I've had to recently say no to drinks quite a few times. At IM recently. Again, just part of the culture. All the fellow influencers going out for drinks. I was like, nah, can't do it. I'm on keto at the moment. They're like, oh, you can get a light beer, you can get this. And yeah, but if I start drinking with you guys, I'm going to keep drinking with you guys. And sooner or later, my resolve is going to weaken. And I'm going to, you know, keep drinking or drink too much or order something I shouldn't be ordering and I'll ruin my keto. And yeah, I just said no. And you know, the boys hassled me about it for a little bit, but it was not an issue. Just a bit of friendly teasing. They weren't deliberately being shitty about it. I think the easiest way for me to do this is just use some junk blocks here to rest the stairs against. What else have I got here, junk block wise? I got plenty of this. Don't drink any alcohol. Yeah, I don't think I could ever go quite completely teetotal. I like a drink. Actually, I haven't had a drink since keto, like at all. Except on Paddy's Day, we had that Irish coffee. I did on stream. That was just like a splash of whiskey in my coffee. Aside from that, I haven't touched a drop of alcohol since like the start of February, I guess. And even then, I don't think I drank anything since New Year's. Yeah, my environment, everyone sees getting pissed is the best way to spend their weekends. Never good out. Yeah. I mean, that was the thing for a while. In my sort of earliest of early 20s. But fortunately for me, the group that I hang with most often, that just wasn't a go-to. I mean, we like drinking together. And we, you know, go around to each other's place and have a beer or two or something like that. Well, I would have a beer or two. My best mate would have those vodka premix drinks, which I would tease him about because it's a girly drink. But we'd never just routinely get smashed just for the sake of getting smashed. Just have a few drinks, watch some classic movies, and make stupid jokes. I miss those days. That dude lives in Melbourne these days, so I hardly ever get to hang out with him anymore. Whoops-a-daisy. And then it came out that those circle go drinks got you smashed faster. Is that an actual scientific thing, or is it just something people still say? I forget what the theory behind that was. Was it because they were sugary it boosted your metabolism so you burned it quicker or something? I forget what it is. But I only ever teased him lightheartedly about him because I liked him as well. I just didn't drink him as much because he didn't like beer at all, whereas I did, so... That was his go-to drink. Instead of a beer, it was, what were they? What was the biggest? It was Cruisers, vodka Cruisers. That was the brand. That was the branding. Cruisers. They're actually really delicious. I couldn't drink them all night long, though. Even for me. They were too sweet. Due to how your body processes sugar. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, the thing was, they were always the go-to for... You know, the girly drink, because as a woman, you don't drink beer. You don't like the taste of beer, do you? I don't even know how that became a thing people said. It's so dumb. Yeah, we're lopsided, but so is the building. I might actually... Oh shit. Did we crash? What happened? Minecraft just minimized for some reason. Yeah, I might actually bring this building out one more to help centralize that a little bit. So I like the way that roof sits, just slightly lop. So we got the wide veranda on this side. But I think we need to bring this room out one more. I was aware I was doing that, by the way, guys. It's not like, oh, I made a dumb mistake. I was fully aware of the positioning of where that was. I just didn't expect it to look a little like that. Shot of spirits like acid gives you a burning sensation. No, I'm not talking about... You know. Spirits don't taste like acid. It's a dumb thing to say. 5 out of my 8 sisters all prefer beer. Exactly. I knew tons of women who liked beer. I never ever got it. How do I want to do this exactly? And are you going to get Merrymaker 2? Probably. Never played much the first one. The second one does look pretty tempting. When is that out? Is that soon? I think... Oh, no, it was Crash Team Racing that just came out, wasn't it? That was the big thing. Big mascot thing that just came out, isn't it? 28th. Right. Yeah, that helps a bit. Move those doors across again, though. You're starting to get annoying, dude. Just so you know. Uh-huh. Where'd those doors go? There they are. Mama just shoved me. so it's a week. 20th is about a week away. So next Friday, I guess. Right? Actually don't know if I've got the budget for a new game right now. I'm so poor. I spent all of my spending, you know, my you can use this money without worrying about rent money. I used all of that on the new VR headset. Oh, which reminds me. I got an email from the Pimax guys this morning. I have to respond to those guys. I think maybe I can talk them into sending me a review unit for the Pimax 5K or 8K or both or whatever. It's the first email I've got from those guys in ages. Like, they sent me the Pimax 4K when that was, what was that, 5 years ago, whatever it was now? No, probably 3 years ago. Who cares? So I got a review unit of that. And, you know, not too long after that, they announced they were doing the Kickstarter for the 8K. And so I said, hey, when this is ready, send me a unit. I'll do another review. And they said, yeah, but we'll get you one. We'll get you one. We'll get you a prototype unit when the Kickstarter thing, and it's never happened. Then when the Kickstarter finished, I waited. Then they went into production. I wrote them again and said, hey, now that you're in production, do you have any spare units you can throw my way for a review? And just nothing but tumbleweeds. But now they emailed me. They found me this time, so hooray. I'm making a new toy to play with. They have their prototype controllers now too. They're Knuckles-like controllers, so that could be fun. Oh yes, Dragon Quest Definitive Edition, yeah. Yeah. Looking forward to that. I actually bought Dragon Quest 11 on Steam. Haven't played it yet, because I was waiting for a big chunk of time, like with Octopath Traveler. I wanted to sink into it proper. And then shortly before I was scheduled to start doing it on the stream, it was like, hey, we're doing Definitive Edition SX Super Duper thing. I went, oh, okay. I guess I'll wait and buy it a second time. Ugh. Hello, Kenshin. That's the little box which you can emulate pretty much anything on. What's the little box? No, the Pimax is a VR headset. Where's the lead? Where'd the llama go? They broke the lead to his llama. Alright then. Alright, let's think about entranceway. Just went straight stairs here, didn't I? Yeah. Not too more like we did there, I think. Might even inset it. Yeah, that could look cool. Let's do this. Nope, not that. Not even close to that. This. Out of the way, dude. Seriously, get out of the way. No, I don't like those logs at all there. What if we went straight to planks? That's the ticket. No. Yeah, I think this might be better after all. So let's do a double. how did I do that? Did I go all the way up? No, I just went to the edge, didn't I? Yeah, well, that's better. The pie. 150k has been raised for the Trevor project. Wow, really? Awesome. $150,000. Sweet. I might even bring this back room out even further, I think. Extend all the way through here. Still a big dogleg building. So I feel like if we try and jam a building in this space here, it's going to look a bit too crowded. But if we leave this space open and put another little garden or something there, just dogleg this out, put another couple of doors in, might be a better option. Pops up now saying our target of 150k raised for the Trip project has been reached. Awesome. That's excellent news. Hooray for everybody. How does your Minecraft look like, bro? What does that even mean? How does my Minecraft look like, bro? You kids and your fucking lingo. What does bro mean these days? Back when I was a lad, bro mean same thing as dude, basically. What up, dude?
Hey,
Sup,
hey,
bruh?
Hey, Krillin. Hey, Krillin. Hey, Krillin. What? Someone followed. Why me? Quack!
Just got Minecraft, so I don't know how you get it. Oh, you're asking, why does my Minecraft look like this? Comma, bro. It's got some running what's called shaders. Cannon chain.
Hey, pat on the back! Pat on the back for this guy!
Thank you very much for 9 months with the resub. Twitch baby time. Yeah, these are Minecraft shaders. There's a little mod thing called Optifine, Optifine, that lets you use shaders, which adds various kinds of special lighting effects. There's all kinds of shaders for all kinds of different looks. The one I'm using at the moment is a prototype for ray tracing, as you can see demonstrated here by some of these lights. I'm also using a texture pack, which changes the default look of the textures that are on the blocks to a finer detail texture. Oh yeah, I was going to show these off way before, wasn't I? Yeah, these are the new textures in the Lithos core pack. They finally got around to doing the smoker and the furnaces and stuff. I think they look awesome. We're just about to that 2 hour mark too. I should take a break. Just while we've got this natural stopping point here. But yeah, if you run a Google search for Minecraft shaders, you'll find all kinds of helpful links of tutorials and explanations and links to stuff. Yeah, it's pretty neat. Especially if you've been playing Minecraft for ages and you sort of want to give things a fresh new look. I especially love how water looks in this particular shader. Not so much underwater. The next version of this shader, the next experimental version, the test version 8 or whatever it is going to make it look better underwater. So right now it looks a bit gross. He's working on it. There was a post about it a couple of days ago. He's working on it, how to make the underwater stuff look better. Yeah. Actual real reflections and everything. Hooray! Oh yeah, something to note by the way, which is why Anya's asking you which version you got. This only works on the Java version. So if you got Windows 10 version or you got a console version, no juice for you. They are working on an official update called the Super Duper Graphics Pack, which is going to make default Minecraft have a shader-like option. with proper lighting and cool shadows and shit like that. But we don't know when that's happening yet, so... Yeah, Java's the only one that supports custom shader packs like this at the moment. I got Java... You guess. If you bought it from the website, you'll know, because it'll be pretty clearly marked. If you bought it from the Windows 10 store, I mean, if you bought it on console, you know as well. But yeah. But if you went to Minecraft.net and you chose the Java version and whatnot, then yeah. Anyway, if you need to know more, we'll talk about it when I get back from my back. Back from my break, I should say, because I need to stretch my back. Ugh. Make a fresh coffee, actually, too. So, be back in a couple of minutes, guys.